Hello and welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Arvadi coming on with breaking news regarding the Paycheck Protection Program. This is a federally run program through the SBA, the Small Business Administration. We got breaking news last night regarding the funding. So this is shocking news. So this is important information for all you entrepreneurs and small business owners who are either were thinking about applying, are in the process, approved, and are waiting for your funds. So the SBA, this program has run out of funding. So we're going to talk about what that means for you and your small business. Do come on in. Let me know who you are, where you're hailing from, what your business is, and where you are as far as applying for the Paycheck Protection Program. So although the funding has run out, I'm going to let you know what are some things that you can do and should be doing so that we can, again, continue to get the financial help that we need to be able to support our businesses. But this goes to show this is shocking news because we're like 4 weeks ahead of the May 31st deadline, the closure date for the program that was already extended from March. So I have been saying that we thought that the money was going to run out, but who knew it was going to run out this fast, is why I say that you need to make sure you're not procrastinating, that you have to be quick moving in applying for these programs while the funding is available. So this has been moving really quickly. Businesses have been getting processed and approved and funded. So that's good news, but there's still more businesses out there that need the help. So as you all are coming in, I just want to make sure everybody can hear and see me. Let me know that you can. Hit the love button, give it a thumbs up so more people see this video, because people are still reaching out to me in my inbox for help with PPP, and they didn't get the news. So this news came out late last night. So I want to make sure that we address it. And also any questions that you have related to PPP and your application. If you have not subscribed already, do subscribe. We want to welcome you into our She Boss Talk family. Thank you for all of those that support us each and every day, that continue to help us get the word out about all of these different programs so that we can save small businesses. We need small businesses to survive. We need small business in order for us to get back a strong economy. We can't do that without small businesses. So with that being said, let's get started. This is specifically about the Paycheck Protection Program. We know this program has almost funded near $1 trillion. This is one of the most popular programs that came out of the CARES Act program. It's been extended a number of times. And most recently it was extended and funded $292 billion, right? And we know once President Biden got into office, he also made some improvements to the program, giving more access to those that were shut out of the program, those in underserved communities, those that have filed bankruptcy, those that are not U.S. citizens or may have to be on a green card. So there was a number of barriers that they addressed to be able to give funding to those that have been left out in previous rounds when all of the money was going to larger businesses. So this provided an opportunity for those in more underserved communities like women business, minority businesses to get access to the funding. They had changed the calculation for self-employed individuals with no employees, giving millions more the opportunity to get access to this program and be able to qualify and actually get funding and to be able to get increased amounts. But again, that was later in the game. So there are still plenty of small businesses that need to apply. There are still many of businesses that are actually in the pipeline that have applications that are somewhere pending and processed. So what the SBA is saying, they made this announcement yesterday. They shut off the portal. So the announcements went out to all the lenders with this program. It is your applications are processed through lenders that are partnered and approved by the SBA. So they have different protocols and systems. So they were notified by the SBA through a portal that there were no more loan origination funds available. That means no more new money for new applicants, except for a certain population of applicants. You will see on the screen, I have reference to there's $8 billion that's set aside for CDFIs. These are community development financial institutions. They may be called community financial institutions or community financial leaders. These are organizations that really serve the underserved communities that I spoke about before. So there's still an opportunity if you have not applied to apply through one of these organizations, but you need to actually go through one of these community development centers. Someone had asked me about that. What is this? What are these community development centers? Want to make sure that you know and that you can get access to them. I just dropped the link to the locator for these organizations in the comments. So I believe they dropped on Facebook. If they didn't drop on YouTube, I will make sure I pin it to the top of the comments after this broadcast is over. But you can reach out. So this is minority, socially, economically disadvantaged, women-owned businesses. So see if there's one in your local community that you can reach out to and see if they are still accepting applications. So we knew we were down to the wire. So there were already less and less lenders that were accepting applications, and they had already established some deadlines well in advance of the May 31st date that they were going to shut it off, because you need to allow time for the SBA to process. So the SBA, based on the extension of May 31st deadline, had already, as part of that, the plan is that they will continue, the SBA continue to process applications into June to make sure that everyone that has been approved actually gets their funding. Okay, so with that said, there are applications in the pipeline. If you have an application, I know some of the lenders that we work with, like Wampley, have already started, and David Allen Capital have already started sending out email notifications as to what is happening. And some have decided to close down their portals. Like PayPal, I checked last night. They have a bold statement for first draw and second draw that their portal is closed. Okay, and you will see that most lenders are like that. However, there are organizations like Wampley who has really helped thousands of small businesses get funding, kind of helping to kind of broker them to approve lenders to fast track it. They sent out an announcement that this is not over, right? So they will continue to work to try to get this program extended, get additional funding, and that they will continue to accept applications. So there are lenders that will not accept any more applications. There are a few that may, like Wampley, but here's the thing. If they accept your application, there is no guarantee, and it says that in the email, will say that on their website, and you should know that if you're already in process. Once the SBA runs out of funding in any program, that's basically it. They cannot guarantee that you are going to get funded. Now, approved lenders, they will, those, if you have an approved application, let me know. Signed your loan docs, you got a loan number, you're just waiting on your funding. If that's you, let me know in the comments. Those are the ones that the SBA will continue to process. Now, I'm not sure what is going to happen with those applications that are right now in pending status, meaning you're waiting to hear back from your lender, or you owe them documentation or information that they have requested from you. That means you have not yet gotten to that approval status. So what we need to do is make sure that this program does not stay closed. That's where you all as small business owners, entrepreneurs come in. That's where your power comes in, your voice comes in. That's when we need to start picking up the phone, shooting some emails to our representatives, your congressional representatives, because that's what it takes. That's how we were able to get it extended extended and extended again because there was a need that we need time for the underserved population to be able to get access to the funding that they did not get before. So we need you all to call your congressional representatives. I have posted this before. You can Google your congressional representative, but I will also drop in the comments after this broadcast the link to for you to easily contact your congressional representatives. You can easily send them email and pick up the phone and let them know that you heard that the Paycheck Protection Program had closed to new applicants. You want to apply, you're in an underserved community, or you need the money. Let them know what challenges your business is going through and how much you need access to this program funding. Let them know if you're already in process, that you've been waiting for a long time, and that you want to see some action, and you want your application to go through and be approved, or you're stuck in the process. Whatever your situation, whatever your story is, this is the time to start talking about it and telling them and pushing them to get together, Congress, to get together and pass a bill to extend the program and add additional funding, right? So it's not a matter of extending the date because we're not to May 31st, but we need them to extend, to add some more funding. And I think we also need for them to extend the program, okay? Because we're already in May. May will be over like in a snap of a finger, okay? Or a blink of an eye. So we need all of us to come together and really petition to do that. I know Womply is encouraging. So some of your lenders, just depending who they are, if they're real advocates of small business, that's what they're doing. And they're letting you know, okay, what steps that we can take, what they're doing, what advocates are doing, and what you can do. Everybody plays a role in this, and ensuring that we get access to the funding that we need. I have mentioned before that, look, I take quick action. I don't wait. I don't assume. People keep asking me in my inbox, will it be extended? I don't care. I'm not waiting to if it will be extended. So we see, and it's a shot. We knew it would run out of funding, but we did not know it would run out of funding this fast. Okay, and that fast in the middle of the night, they said is done. Okay, with the exception of the few that are in underserved that are part of the set aside dollars. Now, even with the set aside dollars, a majority of those I anticipate are already in the pipeline. Okay. So again, it just depends on the particular financial institution. They all have dollars that are allocated to them. So it depends on how many applicants they already have in their pipeline and how much more funding they have to be able to accept new applicants. So it is upon you to act quickly if you want to pursue that route as a new applicant to do that. But let's push forward to seeing if they can extend this program. They've done it a number of times. But again, there are no guarantees. Now, I know for those that are here in Ohio, there are CDFIs here. I would drop in the comments. There is a community financial center here in our local area, Cleveland, Ohio, that's on Shaker Boulevard. I would drop that in the comments for those that are in the Cleveland area, so you have access to that as well. I would also encourage you to, if you don't hear from your lenders, you should be hearing from your lenders, but reach out to them. I mean, it's important to get on the phone. They all have contact information. Some are more responsive than others, but don't give up. Keep calling, keep emailing them, get a status, because some of you all are still stuck, in a holding pattern. Now, I will be live around 6:00 to talk about the Paycheck Protection Program and eidl fraud, okay, and scams that are out there that you need to be aware of. Like one of our lenders actually put out an email about it the other day and what was happening, and now the government is subpoenaing them and asking them for more information. So some of these things play a role in maybe whether or not you may or may not have heard about your application, because if there's any type of fraud or they suspect or identity theft, anything like that, they may not tell you, and they may just hold up your application. You may have reached a certain part or been approved, and something happens and it's some type of fraud trigger. Then it will just stop and you won't get your deposit. You do want to double check too that your banking information is correct, that you submitted, because sometimes people are getting stuck in the approval and they're like, okay, I was approved, I got my loan number, but it's been weeks. It really shouldn't take weeks, but again, every lender is different, is getting more as we got late in the game, is more of a demand on these lenders. So they're really bogged down trying to process all of these applications, right? There's still millions in the pipeline. I know there's maybe short of 2 million that are actually in approval status that are waiting to actually be funded. So again, every applicant is different, every application is different, and every lender is different in how they're processing, managing the application process. So it's really important to continue to follow up with your lenders accordingly. Also, if you have already been funded through this program, it's also important to request forgiveness. So don't forget about that, especially if you've had first, second draw. Make sure right now that you are reaching out to your lender to try to see if they have the applications open for forgiveness of your first draw. So maybe second draw is too soon at this point. It just depends on your lender. But as quickly as you can, you want to make sure you follow up to make sure that you submit your forgiveness application. So this is a forgivable loan program. You can get 100% forgiven, but again, there is action you must take. So once you get funded, you're responsible to use the funding on business. Okay, so I'll talk about this at 6 o'clock because it's still an issue on what you can spend it on. This is not for personal use, okay, because again, not spending it on personal use makes it fraudulent. Okay, so I want to explain what fraud means, what scam means, what your role is in it, and what can happen if it is found that you are, if your application is fraudulent or you're part of a scam, what you can do, who you can report to. So I'll be doing that later on today. So you want to make sure that you're organized, you keep all your documentation, all your records together, all your email correspondences, that you know what's happening with your application, that you can reference your loan number, your loan documents that you sign. You need to know what you sign. You need to be able to access them for yourself. And if you are asked for them, whether it's the SBA, IRS, or some other federal agency that is asking for your information, just assume at some point they can come back and ask. It is not true that they only will come back or investigate or ask for information for loans that were funded in the millions of dollars. That is not accurate. They can come. It doesn't matter how small of a loan that you took out. They can, if they feel that there is a reason to investigate your file, they will investigate your file. Okay, so that's important to know. But I want to make sure that we're all taking appropriate action so that we get the money that we need, but that we're doing it with integrity, that we're following through on what we're supposed to be doing based on what you signed up for, and that you do get the 100% forgiveness, because there's no reason why you shouldn't get 100% forgiveness, but you do need to take that extra step to actually apply for forgiveness. Make sure that you are spending the money. So whether you have in order to get 100% forgiveness, is 60% is spent on payroll related costs. The other 40% are non-payroll expenses. Now, if you are self-employed, that means you have no employees. You can spend 100% on salary replacement, not 100% on personal use, a trip, jewelry, house repair. That is not it. You spend 100% on your salary replacement, meaning that you have to be able to show that you spent the money on your salary, that you actually paid yourself. Okay. And so I provided information and actually an example of how I do it, which is I set myself up as a payee where my business is paying me on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, until those funds are exhausted. You can also do this in your accounting system, whatever accounting system you use. You can set up bill pay to yourself into your personal account. If you do not have a business account, you I would recommend you do the similar. You can go establish another checking account to pay yourself into. You can use a spreadsheet to note how much and what frequency until the money is exhausted. So there's different ways that you can use, so that if somebody ever comes back and say, okay, what did you use this money on? You can show them you're not scrambling, okay? And putting yourself at risk of having that money taken back or not having the money forgiven. So you need to be able to show that, or if you're paying it into a savings account. Setting up accounts is so easy right now. You can set up an account online. So even if you don't have a business account, you can set up an account online or go into your bank and set up a bank account. But again, I encourage everyone, if you're doing any kind of business, that you set up a business account. Is just going to make it that much easier. Those of you that are still in the process, that are waiting for funds, that are stuck, again, it could be because of your bank account. Make sure that you call your bank before they deposit. Let them know you're expecting a deposit, how much from the SBA, and so that they can anticipate. Ask them, that is your account set up to accept ACH debit? Because if it's not, you're going to have a problem getting your money. If there's something that does not match, if your name doesn't match the name on the account, or your business name doesn't match the business name on the account, it's going to cause a problem. It's going to cause a delay in you getting your funds. It's going to reject it. And again, there's no guarantees that they will give you that money again. And if they do, it will delay. It could take weeks. It could take months for you to be able to get your money. So take proactive measures when you're going through these different processes to make sure that you get the money and it's timely. Okay, time is of the essence, right? We're applying because we have a need, so that's important. So although we're talking about the Paycheck Protection Program, this is running out. The funds ran out, but the SBA have started 2 new programs: the Shutter Venue Operators Grant and the Restaurant Revitalization Grant. So that's why I said it may be that they want to focus on these. They may not extend the Paycheck Protection Program, but we need them to do it. Regardless of the program, these best practices, you should use them across the board, no matter which program that you're applying to. So again, this is for the Paycheck Protection Program. For those that are coming in late, this is breaking news to let you know that the Paycheck Protection funding has been exhausted. That the program is closed to new applicants unless you go through a CDFI institution that serves the underserved population. There is $8 billion set aside. But again, some of that money, or most of that money, could already be utilized with people that are already in the pipeline. So with that said, I see comments on here. Again, ask your questions. I'll go through these real quickly and see if there's any questions and answer them. So there's a lot of people saying that they got their loan number and just no funds. Okay, so know that there's different parts of the process. The lender pre-qualifies you, right? So they approve you. You submit all your documentation. They're like, okay, this looks great, right? You submitted everything we asked you for. They pre-qualify you. Then they send you the loan paperwork. Okay, those loan signing. The SBA then has to approve you. Okay. And then once they approve you, they come back with the loan number. Then once they do that, then the lender pays you. And at that point, the lender, it should not take that long. Again, unless some type of red flag or there's some type of an issue with your account. So you definitely want to make sure you follow up and check. But there's some, all the ones that we've been working with have been really good. But there are some, they just held up, and they just maybe not that good with the process or following up or moving the process along quickly through the next phase. But really, once you have your loan number, it really shouldn't be more than a few days before you have your funds in your account. So if it's weeks, that would be very concerning, and you should definitely follow up. Okay. Someone is saying that they still need help. Those of you that still need help, because there's millions still in the process. So I understand that. We have many explainer videos on this program, too many to count. So regardless of where you are in the process, that can help you. We also do one-on-one consults. Those are limited spots, but the links to book a session with us is in the show notes and the description of this video. So sometimes people need the videos are great for some people. Sometimes people need a little extra help. If that is you and you want a one-on-one session, feel free to use the link to book. But again, the sessions book up very quickly. I don't take a whole lot of them. I try to give as much information and education and explainer videos on our YouTube channel as possible, so you can just watch at your leisure and then go apply. But some people do have more complex situations. And so I understand that everybody's situation is different. Okay, so someone is saying they're in the review process, waiting for an approval. So yeah, if you're waiting an approval, that means there's no guarantee that you'll even get to that next step. I mean, so I'm hopefully your lender, and I don't know who, I only know the lenders that I deal with, but how your lenders handle that, they hopefully will be communicating with you. If they haven't yesterday, because this just happened yesterday, you should hear something from them today or tomorrow, hopefully, regarding next steps. So another person is saying theirs is listed as funded, but it's not in their account. Okay. Oh, you're saying that's eidl. Okay. So eidl is a different program, but same situation. So, for both these programs, it literally only took a few days from the time I was approved to the time my money was in my account. So if it's taking weeks and months, there's definitely a problem. If you've been in the pipeline and there's been no movement, no status, there is definitely an issue that needs to be resolved. Okay. Let me see. Any questions? Just drop them here in the comments. I'll answer a few on here. So someone is saying that the bank is asking them for a tracking number from the SBA. How do you retrieve that? I don't know anything about a tracking number. People use different terms. So I don't know if they mean the SBA loan number, or if it's a tracking number from the payment, it would come from the lender, not the SBA. And so if you're talking about PPP, it would come from the lender, not the SBA. If you're talking about a tracking number. And so if you're trying to find a deposit that you're not seeing, then I will go back to the lender, ask the lender for a tracking number. Then they should have it. Congratulations to Lori. She says she received hers last week. Yeah, I'm so thankful I received mine. Anthony is saying that Blue Acorn is using a CDFI. I know Bank of America is also. I was researching that before I came on. I didn't get to. I saw that Bank of America does work with CDFIs, but I didn't see which ones they work with. You can just Google it. Bank of America CDFIs that they partner with. So there are larger banks that are now partnering because there's more and more funding going to CDFIs to help support provide financial support to underserved small businesses. I'm seeing that people have been signing their promissory note. So that's where they're at. They're stuck. Is there a women's organization that helps get targeted advance? I don't know if there's a women's organization that helps with targeted eidl. Like, we have videos. I'm a women's organization. So there we have plenty of videos on the targeted eidl, also the supplemental eidl grant to let you know what to do. A lot of where people are getting stuck is the documentation and the proof of your business, right? That is mandatory across the board for all of these different programs. And I can't tell you how many people don't have documentation that even can show they've been in business. And I mean people that have been in business 2, 3, and 4 or 5 years. And now we're at a point where you can get access to funding and you can't get it because you never filed taxes. You filed taxes. You just decided not to include your business income. So you've been running a business and it's not legitimate, right? In the eyes of the law. Okay. So I'm not trying to, say anything about your business in the eyes of the law. And when it comes time to be able to get access to billions and billions of dollars and grant money, now you can't even show that you are a business. And this is really shocking. I'm really shocked. I mean, I've had some consults and it's just business owners. I mean, salon, if you work in a salon, if you're a barber, you're not on a W-2 form, you're 1099, you have your own business. But a lot of you all are under reporting or not reporting that you're even a barber. But then you want to go into a bank and get money, or you want to apply for PPP, right? So it is now becoming a problem. So now you can't get the funding that you need to help you sustain your business. It's really heartbreaking. So that's why I spend the time on here. It's not just a 9-minute video, because I want to educate and empower you to succeed in your business and to be able to get funding. And it takes more than 9 minutes to do it. Okay. So if you want one of those 9-minute videos, this is not the one, because I'm here trying to help you all break barriers to help you get access to funding that you need. And I'm not talking about a few dollars. You're talking about programs where you could get up to $10 million. And if they're giving you thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, best believe they want to know your whole story. They're going to ask you for every single piece of document that proves that you're in business, that you have a legitimate business, that you have your records in order. They're going to ask you for whatever they want to. And if you want the money, you will give it to them. Okay. It is what it is. Okay. So for those that are, and like right before this happened, people were asking me again about second draw. Can they apply for second draw? Like right now you can, unless you can't unless you go through a CDFI, right? But the SBA had removed the requirement that you had to wait 8 weeks. I did not have to wait 8 weeks. I didn't wait anywhere near 8 weeks before I applied for my second draw for PPP. I think I waited a week to apply. So because it's not just you get funded and you just apply for second draw, you need to be using the money. So the expectation is that you have spent the money or you've already allocated. So I allocated the money. I said everything up to pay myself is already recurring, is bill pay that I'm paying myself. Or whatever, if you split it and you're paying business expenses, you do that, then you go in and apply. But it depends on the lender. So some people were telling me like their bank was requiring that they wait 8 weeks. That the SBA does not require that. So if your bank is requiring that you wait 8 weeks, then you can go to another lender. You do not have to wait 8 weeks. It just depends. The lenders can decide to do whatever they want to do. So if they want to say it's 8 weeks, it's 8 weeks. But you can apply within any lender that you want. That's the beauty of it. Okay, you can apply with any lender. All right, so I think those are all the questions that I see on here, which is it's surprising that it's not more, because I get so many in all my inboxes, emails every day, questions on this program. And I know some people are having difficulties with proving that you had a loss of 25%, 30% if it's eidl. So that is for second draw, that is the difference, that you do have to show that you had a 25% decrease in income or revenue, business revenue, in 2020 over 8-week period compared to that same 8-week period in 2019. One thing that they said, like my bank said, is that I can either give them a annual financial statement comparison, or I could take a quarter and do a comparison. So just check with your lender on what they would allow. I didn't use the annual because I actually wound up making more money in 2020. I had a loss at the beginning of the year when we were all hard hit, but I recovered and really did well at the end of 2020. So you have to set, everybody's situation is different. That's how it worked out for me. So it didn't make sense for me to use an annual statement, a financial statement. I just used a quarter that I was hardest hit, and I used that for a comparison. So whether you're applying for PPP or eidl, you should do the same. Okay. All right. So with that, I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, we will keep you all posted. Be advocates for yourself. Again, call your congressmen and women. Go to Twitter. Who's on Twitter? If you on Twitter, go to Twitter. That's where things happen at, right? If you want some change to happen, if you want action, go to Twitter. It has worked for me in the past with grants, overcoming denials. So I would highly recommend all of the congressmen and women have a Twitter account. Tag them in it. Let them know that you want PPP to be extended. We need more funding, and you want to submit an application. So if everybody is flooding Twitter and flooding their phones and flooding their email systems, we'll see some action take place. So I'll be monitoring over the next day or so to see what they're deciding, because there will start to be some discussion on what direction that they're going to take. So as soon as I hear that, any news regarding PPP, I will let you all know. But that you all that are still in the process, continue, be diligent, stay the course. Don't give up until you get your money. Okay. If you have any questions later, I always follow back up after the program. I continue to be the boss with Amplify Impact. Continue to stay safe and in good health, and go get vaccinated. Go get vaccinated. I got my vaccine, so I'm excited about it. Very excited about it. I have one more to get in 3 weeks, but I encourage you all to do that so we can bring this COVID-19 to an end, so we can get back to doing business the way that we want to. We can have the freedom to move around and visit our loved ones and everything like that. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you can do the same for you and your families. Have a wonderful day. Bye.